All right, our stream is live. So, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. You got Mike and Don here for today, and we are we're, we're we're set for an interesting day. We had yesterday off because we got other things that are scheduled for Tuesdays, but now we're back. And Mike, let's before we get into charts, what's happening in the news? Anything that is of any consequence for our fundamentals?
Yes, actually, if I go to Forex Factory and I'll share quickly, we can start there.
By the way, while Mike's pulling it up, remember we're just documenting our journey, the stuff we're learning, what we're doing, how we're doing it. This is not financial advice. We're not making recommendations. We're just sharing what we're doing. So just keep that in mind. All right, back to you, Mike.
Absolutely. So you can look right here. So here's the news from today. Now, a couple things just to point out. Red folders often impact the market. Okay, so that's why we're paying attention to red folders, just to keep it really simple. All right, core PPI projected 3%. It's 5%. So that's good. It's up. So that's good for the economy. So let's take a look. Let's see what that is. Okay. So Bureau of Labor Statistics, the change in price of finished goods and services sold by producers, excluding food and energy. And it says actual greater than forecast is good for the currency meaning the US dollar. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's going to impact the US dollar against the euro, for example.
Yes, and if
Um,
currency is good,
yeah.
what
And
does that
same thing.
do?
Yep. I'm not trading Canada, but I do pay, but Donnie was saying too, and I do pay attention. Canada can impact oil,
Mhm.
and I was looking at the loonie a little bit and considering, but it just moves too slow right now. And as I mentioned before, gold and euro USD are my two targets only right now to
Yeah.
keep it simple, and it's worked out tremendously better than jumping into six different things. Um, So crude oil inventories is coming out later. Again, this is something where it's a yellow folder. But look at 2 p.m. There's a lot of stuff going on here. The federal funds rate. Okay, so you have the FOMC economic projections. So the federal funds rate is the interest rate at which depository institutions lend balances held at the Federal Reserve to other depository institutions overnight. Um, it's basically just a rate decision.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just make it simple.
But
And then
it has a huge impact.
yes, and right here you can see like what's historically been over the past, let's say, year.
Mhm.
So this is just ballpark. So in like March last year, around this time, forecast was 450, 4.5. It was 4.5. Previous was 4.5. I think we'll see something similar, where forecast is 3 and 3/4. It was 3 and 3/4, and I think we're going to see 3 and 3/4. I don't know
Yep.
about you, Don, but that's my expectation.
Uh, I would agree. It's almost there's very few surprises with the federal funds rate. We
Mhm.
sort of know where they're coming from, um, and so we know that it's already baked in first of all. But but even the market knows that we're not expecting any surprises.
Right.
Could happen, but not expecting it.
Yep. And then I wanted to see. All right, so that's that. I mean, and again, just as we're paying attention to the day, okay. So as we're trading throughout the day, um, right now, let's say this is going to carry us up till about like 10 a.m. Like at the end of this, I mean, to about 11 at the end of this call.
Hmm.
In terms of anything that we really care about, I'm curious about crude oil inventories, but it's not going to dramatically impact anything that I'm doing. 2 p.m. is a very big target point between 2 and 2:30. We see a lot of news there. If you're trading the Aussie dollar or the yen, right here, just some information, red folders here. But I'm more focused right here in this 2 to 2:30 range is when I'll be paying attention.
I remember the last time when the um, when Jerome, anyways, did a Jerome Powell, meaning not
Hmm.
Jerome as in the market we look at. Um, I was in a trade on gold, in fact, and I don't know. I think I lost $200
Okay.
after he finished speaking. I forget what the number was. It was a big number for the size account, and it hurt. But Donnie had warned us, hey, look, when the Fed is speaking, you want to be very, very, very careful. And the news that came out, I thought, oh wow, that sounds really good. That's going to help my gold trade, and for other reasons, it ended up going in reverse, and it went fast. Like for the first couple of minutes, it was almost like a delayed reaction, right? You're just sitting there, you heard the words, you don't see anything, and all of a sudden, boom, like the bottom dropped. It was wild, and it's like, oh,
Yep.
I want to watch out for that.
Yep.
So,
And if we look at that, though, let me pull that up again, because if we take a look at that, that was right here. So if we take a look at that, that one previous was 4, right? I think this was in December. I remember that.
yeah.
And the previous was 4. While the forecast we knew was 3 3/4, it did come in at 3 3/4.
Right. It wasn't the rate itself.
Yeah.
It was Jerome Powell talking. So when the Fed speaks, that was the key.
Yep. I wanted to see something here. So for the day, today's what, the 18th. Okay, so for the day. So again, I've been in gold and Euro USD. I'm only really talking about my gold trades right now as I'm growing the Euro USD account, but it's so small.
Yep.
I am up 178.70 for the day on gold, and I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm 3 for 4, and I honestly should be 4 for 4. The one that I lost, you know what? Let's see if I can show you.
Yeah. So I'm looking at gold. So gold, I was out of the market yesterday because of all the different stuff that I do, and so I'm just getting back in today, and I'm looking. Yesterday and actually overnight would have been and this morning would have been a great time to be in gold.
Yeah, I got a $202 win this morning.
Nice.
By getting in at the right time. But on this one right here, let's go to the 4 hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything was exhausted. Everything from the 5 to 15 to 30 to 45, the 1, the 4, all exhausted. Actually, a bunch of them were down in single digits. Okay, so that tells us that it's going to turn around shortly. You just have to RSIs were all facing down. And then the lower time frame started to flatten out. Like one by one, they started to flatten out. And I got in on this candle right here. And I got in, let's say, like right here. Okay. And if you look at the daily, what's that? It stopped right at the 66. So I'm like, I'm going to ride this down all the way to the daily 66.
Yeah.
And I did. And it went down, and I was up like $50, and then it went down like $100. And then it stayed down 100, 150, 160. And when it got back down, it just stayed at like 90, 95, 85, 105, 115. So I got out at negative 95.30. I should have just stayed. I knew it was going to come down here. There was nothing obstructing it on any of the charts saying it wasn't going to. I just let my emotions take over.
Yep.
And was like, just get out. Don't get killed on this. Your goal is to be over 1,000 by the end of the day. Don't screw this up. And as you know, if your mentality is don't screw this up, you're going to screw it up because you literally just told yourself to screw it up.
Yep.
So it was the absolute wrong mentality. As a former athlete, I don't know what I was thinking. I just figured I would just cut my losses and then move on. But what I ended up doing is I wrote it down to here, and then I got in at the 66, and I made up for it. But because of that, I ended up having like $107 win rather than a $302 win. Yep. So, I mean, net. So, needless to say, it was a frustrating moment, but I was right, and I should have trusted myself.
You are human, you know.
I know, but I looked at it and was like, don't get out. It's just going to bounce to the 66. You know it's going to happen. And I was like, trust yourself. And then I was like, I don't want to lose any more money. And then I did it, and I'm like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
I'm like, who was that guy? I'm like, get that guy out of here. Like, he's not even allowed to trade. That guy's awful.
Yeah, you locked in the loss.
Oh, my loss. It is what it is. I mean, it's still a good morning, but I'm where are we at? Yeah, I'm 948.91.
Nice, nice. Almost at that first Forex.
Yep.
Well, keep it going. You've got
And by the way,
space to make up to cover for the rest of the day. So just take it. So
yeah, I just got to watch this candle. This is the big one. This one's in drawback for me right now. Drawdown.
Okay.
So I'm just watching this. I'm on that set.
Where did you get in on that one?
Right about here.
Okay. And you took it as a buy?
Yep.
Okay. Did you do the Einstein call or?
No, I did me call. I did a me call. Then Einstein showed up because I was looking at the 4 hour.
Yeah.
Because on this account I have a bigger balance. And by the way, my magic number is $500. Like $500 in my account, and I am so comfortable, and I am doing great.
Nice.
Like that's my number that I've figured out. Like as I said, like a week or two ago, I was trying to figure out like where's my comfort zone.
Yep.
And everyone's going to be different, but I am, once I kind of build this one up, I'm going to start another one with like 25. Actually, I have the Euro USD one. That's $25 that I'm just building up.
Okay.
So I'm going to get that one up to 100, then I'm going to move that account over, and then we'll build it up from there. But that one's taken forever because it's also in Tasty, so I'm only getting 50 to 1 rather than 200 to 1. Which is
now, why is that one in Tasty?
Because it's Omni. I've been waiting for it to take advantage of Omni.
Got it.
So I've just been parking money there for Omni, and
that makes sense.
Yeah. So that was the only reason why it was in Tasty.
Okay.
But
yeah.
So we have
USD now.
Yep.
But let's look at these. So you've marked yours up. I jumped in and I haven't marked up yet.
I'll start on gold.
Wow.
So if we go, actually, gold is, just so we can see it, there's a lot of support lines from before. I'm actually going to clear out a lot of this because there's so much consolidation. Actually, you know what? You're on Euro USD, so we'll go there and then I'll go back to gold.
I already went back to gold, but it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. If we look Euro USD, right? So this supply zone has not been broken or breached as far as I can tell. No, this is still solid. So this supply zone is still in play. We have another supply zone right here. So I'm actually on this one, just going to drag it.
Yeah, and you're on the 1 hour as I am. So
yeah, I typically do most of my markups on the 1 hour. I will do like a minor 4, but like my in-depth markups is almost always on the 1. I got to pull this down so it stops. There we go. So I'm just going to drag this down here because it's such a minimal gap between the two.
Yep.
Get rid of that. All right, so there's that. Let's see, what else do we have down here? This is still live. This candle.
I'm looking at your 1 hour supply at the top, and I know you're dragging something down, but we're looking at the more recent.
Right here.
A pretty big candle. I mean, that's
this one, yeah.
Why do you have your zone that high?
Okay, because right here, this zone hasn't been breached, and this is a pre-existing one I had for this. It was this to here. It was this to here. And the other one, it's like there's a very small space between the two. Like we're talking probably like $1.
That's back from March 12th.
Actually, it's not even $1. It's here, right here. The bottom of this is 154. So 15484, and the top of this one is 15472. So we're dealing with 1.4 pips difference So I just included them all into one because I'm just blending the two different zones.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I was looking at the more recent zone, which you had that lower one where your cursor is right now, and that's where I am on that. And then when I look at it, and that's for the supply zone. When I look at demand, I mean we're in a zone right now.
So this one's going to cut it, right? Let's see. Hold on. Nope.
No, I
Oh,
was
actually,
looking
hold on.
above it.
So,
Yeah, right, just to the left of where your cursor is.
yep. I was trying to see if this one right here is that is though. Do you agree?
Do I agree with what?
This red candle right here is actually a demand zone.
Yeah, I do.
It's slightly, but it is. So again, on this one, because I had this one in play right here, which again, I don't think it's been breached again. No. So I'm just going to make this one bigger.
Now, have you discussed that one with Donnie?
I haven't discussed that with him, but I've seen him do something very similar.
Okay.
And what I will do though, just for my knowledge here, is I will take this line right here. See, that's not a flat base though. See this line, this is lower than that.
Yeah, I wonder if it must have been a small gap, because that's all that would have caused that.
Yep.
That's interesting. So on mine, let me enlarge this. Yeah, if I enlarge it enough, I can see that there's a gap there. Very, very small gap.
I am going to go to the 4 for a minute here just to see what it looks like on the
Actually,
4.
no, that would not have been a gap. That just happens to be where it, no, that's where it opened. That would have been a small gap. Yeah. But right above the demand zone on the 1 hour is the 66. I'm talking about the front wall.
Yep. Right here. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where, I mean, right now, if you're playing the 1 hour right now, you're just basically going to play 66 to 10 or 20.
Yep.
And it looks like the 10, let's see which one's holding better. Yeah. I'd probably just play it live and just see what happens. I'd put it on the 20 as a take profit, but I'd potentially jump out at the 10, just depending on what's going to happen.
Yeah. And I'm measuring that right now from the 66 to the 10 is 29.8 pips. So call it 30 pips. So that's not a bad word. That's a decent range.
Yep.
Call it 30 pips.
Yep. And we got the RSI pointing down. Jerome's down. What if we go to the 4? Okay, but look at that. Just under the 50, just over the 50, and flatten out in a slight incline.
Yeah. And the thing we learned is that the 50 is a rejection point.
Correct.
So it's a rejection line that a lot of times the RSI will bounce off and then go back in the other direction. Whether it was coming down before and goes back up, or vice versa, if it was going up and it goes back down. So you've got two rejection points. You've got the 50, but you also have Jerome, the yellow line.
Yep.
So very, very close. And that's on the 4.
That's on the 4. Yep. If we go back to the 1.
On the 1, it's heading back down, or it is heading down, I should say. And Jerome's sort of following it.
Yep. And we had a bearish diversion. So we had a V correction here.
Yep.
Another V correction. And it looks like we started another V correction, but then it tapered off.
Yep. So that's an interesting trend.
Yep.
So the question is, will it stay within that 66, or is it going to hit the zone? I mean, the last candle hit the zone.
Yep.
It broke into the zone, but it didn't stay there.
Yep.
So that interesting one to watch. But if I were getting in, yeah, I would watch what's happening at the 66. I'd love to take it at that front wall. I don't think it's going to go down to the back wall, but I'd check the RSI. You
Yeah.
know, if it gets into the zone, I'd be looking at the 5 minute, 15 minute, the 3 minute to see what the RSI is really doing. But I'd watch it because I'd want to take it back up. I'd be amazed if it hit that back wall.
Yeah, I would too. But let's see. I mean, it did go through here, but that was what yesterday at 2 a.m. Or yeah.
Yeah.
But let's see. In that also, it was a much lower range.
Now, if this candle, by the way, I know we got 21 minutes, but if this current candle, the bearish candle that we have now, does make it down to the 66,
Yep.
then we have an engulfing candle.
Yep. If it makes it halfway there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So the odds are that if not in this hour, that in the next hour, it's going to go down a little further.
Yep.
But just based off that, we'd have to look at everything else. That's just one indication. And I haven't figured out yet where that engulfing candle really pertains and where it doesn't. It's like I've been watching that, but I don't know. I don't know when to use it and when not to. It's like every time I've used it, almost every time, let me rephrase that. Almost every time I've used it, it's burned me.
Yeah, so I've started using it as an additional confirmation, and that's been successful for me. So okay. if I'm looking at it, and let's say right here, I'm expecting this. Let's say this trend's coming here, and I'm expecting it to go all the way down to the 66. Okay, so if that was that, and then I see this come down to here, well, there's nothing else on the 4. You have the 20, but the 20 is at 149.36.
Mm-hmm.
This is at 150, so this is before.
Yep.
So I don't have anything really blocking me before I get there. So I'm expecting that to go down to the 66. So, like, for example, if this candle was to close like right here, it's not a lot. I mean, it is gold. I'd take it at a higher, this is Euro USD actually. I'd take it at a higher lot rate because this is a quick play down to here or here.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I think I should let it get back up a little higher, and then I'm going to take it down to the 66.
Yeah, I mean, it would be ideal if it could get up to here to like the 10 and then ride it back down.
That would be nice. Yeah, where it went to wouldn't have been bad, but I would have had a trigger at the 10 or the 20, not where it stopped.
Yep. Gold looks like about
19 minutes left.
Gold looks like it's still just dropping. Yeah.
Yeah.
So look at this here. We're at 17 on the 1. On the 4, what are we at? We're at 24. There's a lot of room here.
Yeah, on the 4, definitely a lot of room. Even at the 17, I mean, I've seen it lower, a lot lower. So, but usually once you get to that 20 on the RSI chart, you're looking at oversold or overbought if you're at the 80 on the other end. But in this particular case, yeah, we definitely have some room. On a 30-minute, you're still at 21. Actually, no, you're at 19 for the RSI.
Yeah,
Jerome's above you though. So Jerome's just like taking you down.
Yep. But again, looking at that structure, there is the possibility of a recorrection. Yep. We just have to see. Okay, again, too, I mean, we have buy calls on the 15, 30, 45, 1. Not on the 4 yet. Not on the 2 yet. But we got buy calls here, and we're exhausted on all these.
Yeah.
I mean, well, again, I like the daily play again. Take it down to here.
Yeah.
And then go back up. I'm in drawdown on that, but it's all good. I'm just waiting it out.
Yep. And if you look, I mean, right now we've got the 200. I'm on the 1 hour, but on the 200, It's well above at 50.93. You've got the 66, then you've got the 20, then you get the 10. And that's just because it was much higher. And over the past really 24.48, it's dropped a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, it's dropped $150 roughly.
Yep. And let's just see right here. Let's pull up. I'm gonna pull up FinViz really quick.
By the way, quick public service message. I got a couple of emails from Kraken. That's one of the crypto exchanges that I use, and because I had been trying to get my 1099 DA, which is just the tax document from my transactions for the year, and I was able to get it from Coinbase and others. But with Kraken, I got an email the other day, and it said, "Hey, we looked through, and your account does not qualify. Doesn't hit the reporting requirements." And then yesterday, and like it definitely hit the reporting requirements. So yesterday, I go and I look, and I get another email that says, "Hey, that was a mistake. We should not have sent that. You should have an updated DA shortly." So watch if you are working with Kraken at all. Kraken's been very good, by the way. I'm not knocking them when I say that, but that's actually the first issue that I've had with them. But just know that if you happen to get that message and you're thinking, "No, that doesn't sound right," it's probably not right. So just thought I'd share the public service info.
Yep. So here's a couple of things that are going on in the news. Like from 3 minutes ago, Trump waives the Jones Act for 60 days.
And what is the Jones Act?
Okay, so why do we care? That's what we're getting right into right now. So Iran is threatening still vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know if you guys saw this morning, President Trump had said to other nations, like, we expect you guys to help. The other nations kind of ignored him.
Yeah.
And today he's like, we don't need their help.
I don't think we do, but I think that was a test. That was a NATO test. Just in understanding how he's always playing.
Yep, and he made that comment.
He plays a lot of games. he likes to know where people stand.
He was. 1 second. Yeah. There we go. I had to find a mute button. There we go. So, yeah, no, and I agree with you. I think it was more just seeing, and he said, just as I expected, NATO takes its one-directional relationship, take and take and take. Let us help people. Let us give you money, and then when we ask you for help, you do nothing.
Sorry, alert on a gold buy. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm up. Yeah, no. My drawback is pushing back up $50, so it's going good. Yeah, so Trump issued a 60-day waiver on the Jones Act, a mandate that only U.S. ships carry cargo between U.S. ports, and stipulates that at least 75% of the crew members are American citizens. So basically, it puts more ships active. It allows ships from different countries to come into port, and us to go to different ports. To keep it simple. And again, this is just trying to mitigate some of the issues in the Middle East due to the Iran war.
Yep.
Crude stockpile. Okay, so that came out. The crude stockpile. Where are we at?
Yeah, where are those numbers?
Refresh. All right, 1030 USD crude oil 6.2. That's bad for the economy. Or bad, not for the economy, bad for the dollar.
Yep. So
the projection was 3.8. I mean, the previous was 3.8. The forecast was.
So that was a positive.
And that's what this is saying right here. The U.S. crude stockpile hits. Yes, it says the U.S. crude stockpile hits its highest since June 2024. Exports surge. Oil prices are ripping higher this morning, rebound aggressively on overnight lows after U.S. and Israel attacked upstream Iranian energy assets for the first time. So if we go to here, let's see what that says to explain that. So if we go to, where is it, 1030, and we click on it right here. It's the change in the number of barrels of crude oil held in inventory by commercial firms during the past week. The actual less than forecast is good for the economy. It's released 4 days after the week ends. And this is also one of those numbers that I was told is kind of manipulative.
Mhm.
So, which is probably why it's a yellow folder.
So that's interesting though, because look at that for a second. All right. It says
Mhm.
change in the number of barrels of crude oil held in inventory by commercial firms during the past week. And actual less than forecast is good for currency. But if commercial firms are holding more oil, why is that? Let's think about that. Why is that bad for the economy? Are they
Well, if
concerned?
they're holding it and not selling it, number one, so money's not flowing, it's being held.
Okay.
Number one, I would also say that I think that due to a bunch of the stuff going on right now, there's a hold and see. It's supply and demand, so prices can get driven up very high. And
So
I,
they
I
bought at a certain level and they're holding on to they bought as much as they could at a certain level, and they're holding on to that to insulate them from the whiplash.
yep, and we're also getting, what is it, 800,000 barrels of crude now from Venezuela every month.
Yep.
So I mean that's helping that number compared to what it was historically as well.
So from the U.S. standpoint, we're still good there, but
Yep.
that definitely, yeah, it's a yellow folder, so it's not massively impactful. But I mean, I'm looking at the dollar index right now,
Look at, yep.
and it is down.
Let's go there. Dollar index. Yep.
Oh, it's on the 30
The
minute.
VIX.
Let me go back to the
Now you're on
one.
a 30.
Yeah, I was on the 30, and that's what I was on the 30 on gold, and when I switched over to the dollar, it stayed at 30. So that's why I said it was down. But no, technically it's up right now.
Yep.
So, and that came out 20 minutes ago. So that was certainly within this candle. So it hasn't had a big impact is the point.
Right.
So and that goes back to what you said. It's it's a yellow folder. It's not a red folder. But it's one of those things to watch.
Yep. Same thing with NAS.
Yeah. Now look at the RSI, by the way, on the 1 hour on the dollar index.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that was a nice candle right there.
That was a really nice candle right there.
At 8 a.m. So again, let's see what news
Yeah.
at 8 a.m. At 8:30. I mean, that information could have been leaked, but
Yeah. But even at that in that
if we go to
candle
8 a.m. here,
frame.
so U.S. stock futures extend rally ahead of rate decision, weighing costs, economic calendar.
Yeah, PPI indicates U.S. inflation is accelerating at the wholesale level.
Yep.
Oil market underpricing, Iran supply shock.
I mean, we also have in the news too that because Cuba's not getting any oil, they had a national blackout.
And have had. I mean, that's been going on for what, since last week?
Yep. I think yesterday was the first, I thought, or 2 days ago was the first, or maybe in the last 4 days, but I think it was the first like national. It's across the entire country. It's not just sections going up and down. It's like everything was just down.
Okay.
And I could be off with that, but that was my understanding, is that they've had issues and it's been fluctuating. The last oil delivery they got was in January.
Wow.
And they have not received any oil since January. And Trump has also made it very clear that they're an afterthought right now.
Yes. Well, and that makes sense. I mean, right now, the focus needs to be where it is in Iran. Let's get this one taken care of. And there's been, if you've seen it, there's a fair amount of postings of different protests happening in Iran, especially last night with their what is it, a fire ceremony, not ceremony, but it was a holiday for them, and but it's a holiday that the regime was not like it didn't want them to celebrate. So for
Okay.
years they were cracked down on, and last night they were celebrating it all across in different big pockets, large protests and celebrations happening there. So
Do you know?
that's
Do
huge.
you know if that got bigger after the announcement of the 2 deaths yesterday from the Israeli missiles that took out Salami and Salami? Sorry, buddy.
Salami and ham, right?
I can't tell you that I'm hungry. No, and that's awful that I just butchered his name. I mean, you guy's dead at least, and I wasn't a fan anyway, but he's gone.
Yeah.
So, and the other gentleman who was expected to be running the country, and I'm running a blank on his name right now. But actually, here's one other thing I saw too, just to explain
Yeah,
the reason why also he waived that shipping law. He's trying to that's in an attempt to lower gas prices.
of course. Yeah.
Right. But just for the people listening in, this is why we like FinViz too. It provides up-to-date information on this. And if we go right here, I mean, look at oil. Oil was, this was down to 93.50. It went down to 92 last night because I got in on a buy on oil last night because I had a marker for 93.50, and if it went below 93.50, I went to get in on a buy. And I got in on a buy down here at 92.75.
Yep.
Like right here, expecting it to turn around or to bounce off this, and it went down and it went down and it hit my stop loss. And I said, you know what? I said I was doing Euro USD and gold. We're not doing this right now. So I got out. But as you can see, like we knew it was going to turn around. But what's that? 91.48. So basically 91.50. And right up, we're at 98.50. So we're up $7.
Yeah. Yeah. So it would have been a good buy at the entry point that Einstein called.
Yep.
But earlier, it definitely would bring it to drawdown. But look where that stop loss is too, at 90.18.
Yeah, so that's another thing too. My balance, I'm not comfortable putting it down at 90.18. So I didn't listen to their stop loss.
Mm-hmm.
So I put mine right about like halfway between where my entry point and their stop loss. And I'm like, I can stomach that. I can't stomach that.
Right. And that's a double-edged sword though too, right? Because if you have enough in the account and you can handle that, great. But here's the thing, folks, if you put a stop loss that low and it goes that low and you have there's enough money in the account, it will go down to that stop loss. So you have to have the stomach, as you put it. So if you had 10 grand in that account, you would have been like, okay, that's fine.
I would have just not even thought twice about it.
Right. You just would have gone with that lower stop loss. And then you would have been fine because you would have taken it all the way up to 98.
Right. And I told you I also have a goal of getting over 1,000 today.
Yes.
So the fact that had brought me down, I was like, oh, okay, we're out. Like, we're not going to do this anymore. This was like, you got in on one thing that's against your trading policy right now. So we're getting back in to do this. But the opportunity was grand and I knew it was going to be. But if I had trusted their call, if I had trusted my call and just done, even if I did like one, okay, the ATR is 13,105.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's just say, for example, where is it? Okay. So if I got in over here, let's just call it right about here. Well, I got to move this so I can see what I'm doing. I said I got in at like 92.50.
Yeah.
So 92.50 minus 1.31. So 91.19. If I had set it there, I would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I just said, I'm going to go about half. And I went to like right here.
Yeah.
And on this one candle, when it pulled back, I got out. But that's just me not setting a proper stop loss because I didn't have the proper balance to support the trade.
Yeah. And that's the lesson I wanted to draw out from that,
Yep.
because that's, where, hey, look at that. US oil up at the top. It says Sully up there. How'd that happen?
Yeah, I have that's what I have Sully 1 and I have Sully Futures and Sully Forex. So I have like I have a few different setups that I use.
Sorry, I didn't mean to squirrel on that. I just happened to look up and boom.
Yep. So I gotta
It
save it
popped
file.
me. I was like, what?
Yep. No, I have a few different setups. Actually it's pretty cool what oh, I'm running a blank on his name right now.
From where?
Build. Not SEO, not Lex.
I know who you're talking about though.
Yes. He's showed some really cool things on how to optimize TradingView on one of his calls that I really liked. And how to set, like, for example, once GNT is in here, we can set it to an automatic stop loss. So we just click one time buy and it adds the stop loss exactly like how we want. And it adds to take profit exactly how we want. And we just have to click a button. And we can have everything automatically programmed in based on certain things.
Oh, I can't wait till it's in. Any heads up on that?
No.
I have not been able to attend a few of the different meetings with other stuff I've had scheduled. So
He seems to be focused on improving Einstein right now. There's some things he wants to add, and he's really excited about adding it. He said when he's done, you were on that call, when he said when he added some of this projection stuff, when he decided to work on that,
yeah,
that's what made him have to finish the web terminal before he could go on to that. So that's what prompted him to finish the web terminal, and that got done. And now he's back on updating Einstein with this, and then a couple of something else too. I know the notifications are going to be quicker, and I know we're going to have the next cross estimated time in the upper right-hand corner.
Nice. I love it. And those are key. I mean, having the predictive crosses and just being able to look at the trends on the MAs and the moving averages, that's huge. But the speed, that's probably the biggest Achilles heel, if you could say it, that I've noticed with Einstein. Because Einstein's great. I mean, if you look at the overall percentage of trades that Einstein calls that are profitable trades, at least for TP1, if not TP2, it's really good.
And that's where, if we have a one-click button inside TradingView, which is where our Einstein indicator is, if we have a one-click that clicks it and sets the TP immediately.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of times what happens is you click on it, you do the one-time buy, then you go and set your take profit, and by the time you set the take profit, it's already at the take profit. So it's faster just to manually close it out, unless you want to try to go to TP2.
Right.
Because TP1 gets hit almost every single time. Like, it's not every time, but it's almost every single time.
Right, but it's close. TP1 is not a huge profit.
No, it's only 20 pips.
But if you don't have, if you're not in early or in when it's called, then you might not hit that.
Right.
So.
And I'm in on this Euro USD right now. I'm riding it up to the 10.
Okay.
So I'm going to just set my take profit to 1.15288.
Yeah, the RSI in the 1 hour. You went in on the 1 hour time frame?
Yeah, we're about to hit the about to hit the 52.
Yeah.
So I'm watching that, but I just wanted to
get you to the 10 though.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of watching. But it's dropped 15 cents. It's kind of fluctuating. If I can get it up another, like, up to, it's at like 80 cents right now. If I can get it up to $1, I'm out.
Yeah, and you probably will. As soon as
yeah.
I think it's coming down. Not yet.
Yeah.
I think it's going to hit the 10, and I think it's going to go back down. I was planning to take it at the 10 because it never came down far enough to go to my 66.
Correct.
Or the zone.
And on the 4 hour, well, look what we got here. We're about to hit the back wall. And that's before my take profit. So the 10 is 15232. All right, I might just get out of this one. Yeah, I'm out. I'm above. I wanted to be above, so I brought that account from 25. That account's over 30. We've increased it by 20%. Keep on going, but doing small 0.1.
Hey, well, until you build it up, but it works. Yeah. Well done. And we are at time, by the way.
Okay.
Time just flies, doesn't it? But this is great, hey, folks. Hopefully you're learning some of the things we're learning, right? And as you hear, like, we're making mistakes, we're profiting, we're not. It just depends, right? But we're not providing financial advice. We're just documenting our journey. So I know I'm supposed to say that a lot. Wish we never had to even say that stuff, but it is a fact. So this is just documenting the journey. It is not financial advice. But hopefully you are getting some good stuff out of it. You learn some of the stuff that we've learned, and even you're maybe picking some stuff up. And here's the thing, by the way, if you're on our Facebook or our X.com or even in YouTube, you want to comment. If you get some different ideas or things that you've learned or seen that you've picked up from some of the stuff that we're doing, share them with us. Share them on those social medias and let us know. So maybe we can all learn a little bit faster, right? So, but with that, have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all tomorrow, approximately 10:50.